Have you ever tried to change something in your life only to find yourself right back where you started? Maybe you changed your diet only to slip back into old bad eating habits. Or you changed jobs, but your sense of dissatisfaction remained the same. The truth is, change is temporary, but transformation is permanent. And today, in this video, I'm going to show you the key difference between the two and how one of them can guide you to the place that you want to be. So first, let's start with the basics. What exactly is change? Well, according to the dictionary, change is defined as to make someone or something different, so to alter or to modify. This sounds simple enough, right? You adjust something in your life, your habits, your routines, your circumstances, and boom, you've changed, you did it. But here's the problem with change. It's usually something external. It's like rearranging furniture in a house that has a problem with its foundation. You might feel different for a while, but the core of who you are, the foundation, remains untouched. It's still the same. Let's say you decide to start waking up early. You set your alarm for 5 a.m. and good for you. The first few days, you're motivated and you reach your goal, you're up early and on your feet. Awesome. But then over time, after a few days, after a week, those old habits start to creep back in. And you think, okay, well, maybe just this once I'm gonna sleep in, and then maybe a second day, maybe a third. And why is that? It's because deep down, you are still essentially acting like someone who isn't a morning person. You're going against who you are, forcing yourself to get up early. You're forcing that change, but you're not becoming someone different. So now let's talk about transformation. So the dictionary defines transformation as a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. So what we're talking about today goes beyond just appearance. We're talking about transformation as a fundamental shift in your identity, your beliefs, and your perceptions of reality. So unlike change, transformation isn't about modifying a few habits or adjusting a few things in your routine. It's about becoming a completely new version of yourself. So let's think of Mother Nature for a moment. Think of a caterpillar. It doesn't just wake up one day and decide, you know what, I'm gonna make a few small changes here and there. No, it undergoes a complete metamorphosis, a complete transformation, and it becomes something entirely new. It doesn't just try to fly. It doesn't make a few small changes and then decide it wants to fly. It flies because it's now a butterfly. And that's the difference. When you transform, you don't just act differently. You think, you feel, and you see the world from a completely different level of awareness. So here's a helpful way to break this down. So on one hand, with the change, is that external or internal? It's more an external adjustment, whereas the transformation provides us with deep internal shifts in who we are. Then we have a change is also something often temporary, and it's reversible, whereas a transformation is something permanent and lasting. And this is really interesting. When we talk about a change, this is something that depends on willpower and habits. And those are very important things to work on, absolutely, but it's different than a transformation, which is about a complete change in your awareness, a complete identity shift. And then finally, an example would be, changing a habit, like waking up earlier, as we discussed before. Yeah, that's changing a habit. You're setting an alarm to get up earlier, which is part of the process, but that's a change. A transformation would be transforming into a morning person, transforming into someone who naturally gets up at 5 a.m. and loves it and is right off to the gym first thing. I'm sure you all know people like that. So you can see that it's the difference between a change in your life and shifting your identity to transform into someone new. So change is like repainting a house, and transformation is like rebuilding it completely from the ground up, a new foundation and a new house, brand new. When you transform, you become the type of person who naturally does the kind of things that you once had to force. So for example, Instead of waking up early, as we discussed before, you see yourself as someone who is a morning person and loves getting up. Or instead of forcing yourself to eat healthy and be on a diet, you become someone who naturally just values and enjoys eating healthy, organic, nourishing food. So it becomes part of your identity. And this is why a lot of people struggle with changes in their life or personal development in general, because they focus on these surface level changes instead of focusing on true transformation. So now, how do you move from just changing to true transformation? So here are 3 very powerful steps that you can start today. So first, you want to create and shift into a new identity. So stop trying to change certain aspects of yourself and start stepping into a new reality of who you are. Instead of saying, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to try a diet, I'm going to do this or that, just say, I am now someone who values eating clean, eating healthy, and taking care of myself. So that involves making surface level changes as well, sure, but it's much deeper than that. You've now transformed yourself into a different version of you. The next step is to embody that change. You have to maintain that identity throughout the day. So transformation isn't just about wishing for something. It's about living it each and every day, especially before you see the results. And the final step is you have to learn to let go of the old. So true transformation requires letting go of that old version of yourself that no longer serves you. And a lot of times, for various reasons, we can really get attached to the old version of ourselves and the old habits, and it can be a difficult process. But again, you want to focus on shifting into that new identity, transforming into that new version of yourself. Are you just changing, or are you transforming your life? Let me know in the comments below, have you experienced real transformation in your life? And if so, in which areas? Or do you find yourself constantly stuck in this cycle of just temporary change? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.